This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Well, lose and you might be done for the season when it comes to the play-in tournament. Adelaide on the road at Illawarra facing the Hawks. It's going to be an entertaining game of basketball. Both teams have been getting up and down the court in the past week or so. Now, let's have a look at a Sportsbet same-game multi. It's going to be a fascinating clash. I'll take Illawarra only because they're at home. Sam Froling, he's one of the leading rebounders in the competition. Gary Clark, hot off 36 points. And DJ, we love DJ, 20+ when it comes to this one. Illawarra and Adelaide.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Playing spot on the line. There's not many games left as Clark again. Robinson left open. Got it.
Oh, wow.
Crowd on their feet. Well, there is a man that can get their offense going. Tyler Harvey.
Adelaide, I think they feel like they can beat anybody in this league.
Step back from DJ. Oh, stop it. Tip jam from Galloway. And the Adelaide 36ers are just slowly turning into giant killers. From wonderful Wollongong, champion pride round continues, and Illawarra needs some pride in its performance tonight. They were bounced by a buzzer beater 48 hours ago, and this mid-season revival will mean nothing unless they jump back into the winner's circle for their loyal fans. We are inside the Wynn Entertainment Centre where the Adelaide 36ers come in form. They've won 3 of 4 this month. They have players in form and they're off their biggest win of the season. The Mitsubishi Motors ladder illustrates just how tight it is, making this crucial for both teams. Matt Russell alongside Brad Rose, and Brad, New Year's Eve these teams went at it here and the Hawks won. I wonder how the teams feel about this matchup now though.
Yeah, I spoke to Justin Tatum before and they feel good. They did not like what happened 48 hours ago, but they know they can get the win. I don't think I've ever been as excited where it's 7 versus 10 tonight in this game because both teams are coming ready.
This man is always excited. He's 7-4, and there might be some news coming in a few days about him losing the interim tag. We'll get to that later on. We'll hear from Justin Tatum shortly. But Gary Clark is fresh from a 36-point game. He's scoring high in Australia, but there is a concern about a knee injury that maybe kept him to only 3 rebounds in that game. And you've been doing a little digging about the leg of Gary Clark.
I have. He has got this lingering injury with the knee, but he's got 36 reasons, Matty, that he did all right. He was scoring at will. He was fantastic on Friday night, but there is no doubt you will notice he is carrying that knee injury. But talking directly, the answer is I'm good to go. We just hope that he can sustain it. But 36 good reasons like the other night.
The interim coach cup Mark II. Tatum won the first. Can Scotty Ninnis bounce back in tonight's matchup? Well, if he's to do so, he'll hope that Isaac Humphries can continue his resounding form. He has been scoring easily. He's enjoying his basketball this year. He's the only 36er to play in every game this season. What do you make about the Adelaide big man?
Well, firstly, take out that stigma about injury. That's done. He is playing every game and he has been their #1 player without a doubt. You can talk Drake Hill, you can talk Galloway's had games and also DJ. The ball's got to go through that man's hand nearly every possession. Doesn't have to shoot all the time, but he needs to get touches. He is having an outstanding year, and like you said, Matty, he looks happy. And when he's happy, good things happen for Adelaide.
Yeah, Adelaide might be last, but they are a red-hot chance tonight. Trey Kell, he had a triple-double last time these teams met, and during January, 4 games for Adelaide, he hasn't been kept below 21 points. He hasn't been kept below 7 rebounds. Trey Kell is firing.
Brilliant. He is Robbins to Isaac's Batman. No absolute question. He's been playing. He's hit some dagger threes. I did get to speak to him before as well, and I said to him, you just look so comfortable, and he said, I just love the environment that I'm in. I'm feeling comfortable, love taking big-time shots, and he is enjoying every minute that he's doing with Adelaide.
Plus, they've got DJ Vasiljevic, they've got Galloway, they've got any number of match winners tonight. There's another good crowd in the house. It's loud already. It's a big game for the Hawks. We're excited, and these 3 always are. Liam Santamaria, Andrew Gaze, Joel Peterson. Let's go.
Thank you, Matty. Thank you, Brad. Let's go indeed. The Hawks and the 36ers. Take a look at our starting 5 for the Hawks. And Gary Clark, so important to what they've been doing. No changes to that lineup. And, of course, for the 36ers, Drewy, still no Jacob Wiley. So Nick Marshall and Kyron Galloway are still in the 5 for Scott Ninnis.
Well, Kyron Galloway coming off his best performance in the NBL and that win over the Phoenix a couple of nights ago. He's so athletic. We've seen it with his brother, of course, at the Sydney Kings. And his trajectory right now for a player, Liam, that has spent some time where he hasn't really played those consistent minutes, to do what he did the other night was a big step forward for him.
And he's got a big role off the tip here, Joel, because he's going to need to guard Gary Clark, who we know is in sensational form.
Absolutely. He is 36 the other night, Gary Clark. He's such an imposing figure for the Illawarra Hawks. And the battle of the bigs tonight, Sam Froling and Isaac Humphries, they'll tip us off, but that's going to be an intriguing clash in the middle as well.
Well, Humphries is in just sensational form. The 25 points the other day, he had 28 the game prior to that. Froling coming off his 7th double-double of the season.
So the 36ers have closed the gap to those teams in the play-in mix. The Hawks are really in the mix of that. 9 and 11, a win can get them closer to the 6th spot, but not into the 6th tonight, the Hawks. And the 36ers 8 and 14, 4 and 5 under Scott Ninnis as Froling gets to his left hand to start. Just comes up a little bit short. Of course, Adelaide, big winners over South East Melbourne on Wednesday. The Hawks had their hearts broken on Thursday. And DJ starts things off nicely.
Well, he's been good at that. He can get to the rim. We all know he can shoot the 3 ball, but his attack on the rim, and in general, the Adelaide 36ers, they shoot more free throws than any other team in the competition. So, we'll get to the line. So they attack the rim well.
Robinson in the corner. A rough night the other night. 0 off 7, just the 2 points, Justin Robinson.
Gee.
DJ just pulls up, feeling it early. Froling and Humphries renew acquaintances down low. As always, you can hear Justin Tatum barking instructions on the sideline, encouraging his charges. Swakala Bullock's 3 was long. Hawks able to recycle the possession. It's a scrappy start for both teams. And a turnover. Clark comes away with it. Harvey from deep.
Well, that good looks. The Hawks, in particular, have had good looks here to open this game. Froling right at the ring, wide open corner 3. Just haven't been able to open their account.
Two teams that have scored at will of recent times. Of course, both the interim coaches had some turnover in the middle of the season. As Galloway gets the turnaround to go.
And that's nice. And that's really been the major difference since Scott Ninnis has taken over. It's the points per game. Increased almost 14 points a game from the offensive sets and the structure that they had prior. And they're getting out and they're playing a lot looser. The tempo's a little higher. And they've been playing through Isaac Humphries. He's having some of his best games ever in the NBL in the last couple of months.
They've made a massive focus of him, haven't they, Drew? And of course, Dejan Vasiljevic is going to always be a high-volume scorer, but I think one of the biggest things for this team is they've moved Trey Kell to the point guard spot. They've given him the ball, and they've looked much better ever since. And of course, he had the triple-double in the loss to Illawarra on New Year's Eve. His numbers over the last 5 or so games are sensational, and he's heading to the stripe for 3 early ones right here.
And it allows him to inject himself a lot more easier when he's got the ball in his hands more. Early on in the season, some of the games, his shot attempts and just seem to be out of the action way too much. But now, with those greater ball-carrying responsibilities, plus in traffic, he really works well. He can find people and distribute the ball. And he's another one that, yeah, he was a good player last year.
Right.
But what we're seeing of him the last half of the season so far is that he's a high-quality player.
Do you bring him back as your primary point guard?
you're not going to dismiss it out of hand unless you get something pretty significant that can come in, that's for sure.
Quite the turnaround from the middle part of the season. We went 2 games scoreless.
And it is shared responsibility with this guy here as well, DJ Vasimovic, and might have got a little lucky there. Swakala Bullock looked like he guessed right, but they call the blocking foul.
Take another look.
Tight, they're always tough.
That's a good call. That was a good call for me. He did guess,
I
but
think
he
in
guessed
the
a
end,
little too late.
No, that's right, but in the end, could have gone either way in real time.
Humphries loses it, and then Robinson loses it sliding onto the floor.
That's their second turnover at Adelaide off one of those little pocket passes. And clearly in the scouting report here from Justin Tatum and his staff to those Hawks saying, hey, listen, when Vasiljevic or Cal come off that ball screen, come across, help, get your hand in the passing lane.
It's been a bit of a grind early, particularly for the Hawks. A couple of turnovers and they're 0 of 7 from the field. Foul called on Wani Swakala Bullock. I'll be having a few words to say as well for his trouble as Young Lee checks into the game.
One of the things we have found out from the Hawks over this period where they've been playing really well is they've got some guys they can inject off the bench to bring some energy, to help pick up the pace, tick the scoreboard over. Hwang Jung Lee is checked in on that possession. You've got AJ Johnson ready to go, coming off a good game.
Cal working on Clark, can't get the roll. Humphries tries to keep it alive. Clark just rips it away from him. Wide open.
Well, it's 0 of 8 now. 0 of 8, and again, another decent look. Wide open 3 for Clark, who's coming off that 12 of 15 outing.
Humphries back up and in. Sixers with the first 9 of the game. 9-0 run to start for the Adelaide 36ers. And as Drewy said, the Hawks at 0 of 8 from the field can't buy one.
Well, strong start from the Sixers, but, you know, they haven't dominated the game. The Hawks have had good looks. They just haven't been able to knock them down. So Justin Tatum, a chance to just get everybody settled and try to get themselves going out of the timeout.
And I reckon the message right now for Tatum, when you're going through this dry spell, where they've been elite in the competition, is throwing it into the post.
Yeah.
Get a post touch.
So a 9-point lead to the 36ers here at the snooze timeout. We caught up with Justin Tatum pre-game.
Now let's ask the question everyone wants to know. Interim coach Tatum, when does that go to Coach Tatum? Is there any talk where we at?
You know, we're still open-minded about it, man. Like I told the management, let me just keep doing a job that they asked me to do and fulfill. And so, I mean, but the talks have been around.
Is there a time frame you'd prefer?
Mainly probably before I go home, you know, before the end of the season, things like that. Yeah, I definitely want to make sure we have something locked in before I go back to the States.
Sounding promising for the Hawks and Justin Tatum.
Well, I like that from Coach Tatum. Just let me hold off a little. Let me notch up a couple more wins, and then we can add another 0 to that number we're talking about.
He'll be hoping that he doesn't go home too soon if they can make a bit of a playoff run.
And the thing is, you're learning about the coach. Sure, the record is important, the win-loss, but there's much more to the equation than just the win. So as you go on a 4 or 5 game losing streak, shouldn't necessarily be the sole criteria about whether you think he's the best man for the job or not.
Harvey from outside. 0 of 9 now, the Hawks to start. Lee doesn't miss many. Finally.
Oh, there you go. Everyone can just deep breathe a sigh of relief in the Wynn Entertainment Centre, and the Hawks are off and racing.
Jung Lee shooting at 39% from downtown this season. He's a marksman from outside.
Here's the Harvey Norman replay. Lee, this is what he's renowned for. Catch and shoot. He's very reliable. And we saw a bit of this in the last night's game when Melbourne United got the jump on the Jack Jumpers, and by the end of the first quarter, it turned pretty significantly. So, you know, you can't get too carried away with a good early start by the Adelaide 36ers.
Isaac Humphrey spinning at the other end, couldn't hit. Frolling for the Hawks, high off the glass, gets it to go.
And that's what you asked for, Drew.
That's it.
So, hey, when you're struggling to tick the scoreboard over, you've got a really good option down low. Throw it into Sam Frolling, and he goes to work.
So Hawks trying to claw their way back. Let's go courtside to Matt Russell.
Yeah, stuttering start by the Hawks, but they're rolling now. Justin Tatum told his team after the loss to Cairns, we need to regroup, refocus and play wide harder. And that's Sam Frolling right there with a steal. Rebounding's been the real problem. They've lost the count twice this year against Adelaide, badly against the Taipans, and they were behind early here. But at least there's some better signs, Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I was listening to Justin Tatum in the timeout, and he was very happy with the way they played. He just said shots have not missed. Yeah. And going on the back, Matty was saying there, Justin Tatum did come out of the game last time and said 2 days ago and said, I just don't think I played my bench enough. I would expect the guys to get in and out, the bench to give them the energy. You saw Lee hit that first three, and now we've got AJ coming in as well, who was electrifying on Thursday night.
Been playing some good minutes, AJ Johnson, showing his athleticism. As he is here, straight away. Peatling might have almost taken it out of the cup. DJ at the other end gets all the way in.
Well, the defensive transition, not there for the Hawks. Great attack from Vasiljevic, and Johnson, he'll be annoyed with that one, got right to the cup.
Lee thinks better of it from outside. That's Frolling underneath. Able to find him eventually. Frolling had it knocked away. Gets back into Hawks' hands. Another turnover. That's 3 for the Hawks, 4 for the Sixers so far. Just 16 points combined between the two teams. Cal is fouled on the way through.
It's going to be a test for Johnson guarding Cal. Go under that one, but just the experience and the mature body of Curl up against Johnson. I can see you cringing there, Liam. I'm just saying.
No.
He's got some growth still left in him.
No, I'm keen to see the replay. You're right. Definite. He's a challenging cover, Trey Cal. He's done some good work with some of his matchups in recent times. AJ Johnson, good work on both Milton Doyle and Jordan Crawford in their game against the Jack Jumpers recently, Drew.
Absolutely. Mighty fine prospect.
Trey Cal gets 1 of 2 to go at the line.
No, but he's matured, Johnson, throughout the course of the season. Even that first play comes into the game and assesses the situation. Missed an easy one around the basket, and right there, backing himself, coming out in aggressive fashion on the offensive end.
Looks like the tempo of the game he's just found AJ Johnson as the season's gone on. Comes out, not rushing himself. Kadee can't hit. Lee flings it forward, and that was intentional grounding. There was no target anywhere near that.
Well, they just need to calm down a little bit. This is one of the things they've done very well since Justin Tatum's been at the helm. They've looked after the ball. They've been last in the league in turnover percentage since Tatum's been at the helm, from round 8 onwards.
Oh, Vasiljevic fouled on the way through. Gets the 3 to go. He'll step to the line to add 1 more.
Well, Lee doesn't like it. He's got the twirly finger, asking his coach to challenge it. And DJ does this when he sees people going by. He will exaggerate the contact, as he should, and try to. I think they'll struggle to get that one overturned, because it did look like there was at least mild contact if they did appeal it. But the Illawarra Hawks averaging 90 points a game on the season. 7 minutes of basketball. They've only got 5.
It's been tough going for them. 2 of 14. And the Sixers lead by 11. They scored the first 9 of the game. Blanchfield leans in and gets a call.
Well, he made use of all of the available pivots on that move, Todd Blanchfield. Adelaide might feel like he shuffled his feet
Well,
a little as he comes off the screen, operates, pulls up, a little left, a little right, and he finds his way to the bucket. And he scores through the contact.
Left foot stayed down, right foot was pivoting. I think it was good, but he read that well. The stagger screen, McCarron's a little late trailing and didn't just settle for the mid-range or that patented push shot that he has. Gets all the way to the cup. Good action.
Humphries with it down low. Illawarra rolling with the two bigs out there, and Peatling and Froling, and Isaac comes up empty there. Lee, Johnson, Froling, Peatling. Blanchfield the find for Illawarra. Froling rolls across the lane. We've seen that so many times.
And that's a little too easy, Isaac, there. When you're guarding Froling, yeah, he can go both ways, but your priority's got to be taking away that left hand, and that's just an easy drive to his preferred spot.
Vasiljevic from outside. One rattles out. This is where Johnson can be so dangerous. Blanchfield lays it up, and he's fouled.
Well, they found a little bit of mojo here, the Hawks, with this lineup. They got the threats, Blanchfield and Lee on each of the wings. Froling's getting a lot of touches, and they're starting to find a little bit of rhythm at the offensive end.
So Adelaide 36ers by 6. Basketball fans, don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see three key members of the Chicago Bulls, the 6-time NBA champions of the 90s, when the NBL, in partnership with TEG Live, brings Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant and Luke Longley down under. The No Ball Tour is an interactive storytelling experience. Hobart, Melbourne and Sydney this February. 3 epic shows hosted by Shane Jacobson. He's not to be missed. So jump on the QR code on your screen, nbl.com.au/no-ball. And tickets start at $79. So much great basketball action coming your way throughout February, the close of the NBL season, and of course the No Ball Tour as well.
Drew, do you think you've had a bit of a sneak peek at some of the stories that are going to be told over the years at Boomers camps and tours and the like with Big Luke?
No, there are some fantastic stories. I got it from a couple of different versions of what was going on through Luke, of course, although he's not always all that giving.
Okay.
You know, he'll give you the details, but I think now that the passage of time, he really enjoys sharing those stories. And of course, I heard it just chewed the ear off of Steve Kerr when I was with the San Antonio Spurs, and really annoyed him to really extreme and annoying levels. But
he was a little more
I didn't care. I didn't care. Yeah, he was very forthcoming.
Okay.
Heard some cracking stories.
So Craig at the line to shoot 2, keeps it at a 4-point game. Let's go down to Matty Russell.
Yeah, those recent free throws from Todd Blanchfield means that the Hawks avoid their lowest scoring first quarter. In fact, their lowest scoring quarters of the season. 10 points twice each time against the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers.
Got 12 on the board so far, with a minute and a half remaining in this opening period. Joel Peterson, Andrew Gaze, Liam Santa Maria, Brad Rose and Matt Russell with you. Saturday Night Hoops from the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Johnson inside, can't connect. Starling comes up with it. The Sixers push it back the other way. Galloway's shot was no good. Hawks keep it alive with the hustle play. Johnson on the wing, laces it.
A great skip from Gary Clark. Didn't force it, found his open man, open on the weak side.
No hesitation whatsoever from the youngster.
Oh, tough move from Trey Cowell. He had Dave O'Hickey draped all over him and still does, and still got it to go.
Is that pass you're talking about? It's the penetration and the cross-court, one-handed. And like I said, no hesitation whatsoever on the shot. Dave O'Hickey comes in. Ooh, if Trey Kell's hit his head on that sign, that doesn't look to be any issues, though.
You talk about the no hesitation, Drew. The word out of Illawarra, AJ Johnson's been doing some individual shooting sessions, some masterclass sessions with the great Tim Conrad.
Wow, there's a man that could get it off at a the most quickest and unpredictable fashion sometimes. So he's got a good mentor that can help him on his journey.
Cal with the steal. Look out, court wipers. He can't finish, but he was fouled. And the home fans don't like that.
No, the feedback from the fans is not all that positive.
We'll get a good look at it here. Here's Cal jumping into the passing lanes.
It was a little, the pass was sloppy. It just gets him on the shoulder.
Jeez.
So Cal at the stripe. Gets the first to go. And the second. Trey Cal's been getting to the free throw line at will. 10 free throw attempts so far. His last 3 games, 16, 20 and 9. He's been there plenty. Johnson can't hit.
Big win to the Adelaide 36ers. The job they've done on Clark, and you called it. Galloway, that size, and haven't necessarily gone to him all that much, but so far they've had success in guarding him.
Cal with time winding down in this first term. Can't hit. It's kept alive by McCarron. He can't connect either. Blanchfield the other way. And Johnson! Not quite.
Didn't get it off.
He took it all the way into the house, AJ Johnson. And the door might have closed for him on the way in. Quarter time at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. And the 36ers lead the Hawks 21-15.
First quarter done, and it's the Adelaide 36ers leading Illawarra 21-15. How many Mitsubishi threes do we see before half-time? The Hawks would like a few more of them stuck in the mud offensively. Scott Ninnis at quarter time said about his team that is fantastic defensively. That's what we're about, and he wanted his team to stay really aggressive with ball in hand. Brad Rosen, what was Justin Tatum saying?
Again, very composed, very happy. He said, we had great looks. Forget that the ball's not dropping. It will. He said, I don't want anyone talking to the referees. It was a 9-2 foul count. Forget it, play on, and we get this second quarter.
Thanks, gentlemen. Underway in this second quarter. 10 free throw attempts for Trey Cal in that opening frame alone. Doing plenty of work there. Here's Sunday Detch getting all the way in. Beautiful left-handed move.
Instant impact. Great take from Sunday Detch.
Gotta love that. It's coming straight off the bench and onto the score sheet. Adelaide have controlled the game after scoring the first 9 points. Justin Robinson is 0 of 3 after being 0 of 6 last time out.
Still don't think that they're throwing it inside. The key to their play through this period is the inside out. They can finish. They've got the players that can finish around the rim.
Number 1 and 2 in points in the paint so far this season. The Hawks 46 and the 36ers 43 a game.
They post up more than any other team in the competition as well, I've recently learned.
There you go. That's a nice little point, couple of points off the post up.
That's it. It's not always just throwing it in for the postman to finish it, but they've got really good distributors. Gary Mark does some good stuff down there as well. There's another foul. Is it a foul? No.
Tyler Harvey's incensed with the call. He was sprinting up the court backwards with the finger waggle going.
Well, that no talk to the ref thing lasted about 80 seconds of this first quarter. There is, that is clean as a whistle.
What was the call? Was the call a kick ball?
Accept it. All right, no more. Warning. Warning on Illawarra.
Tyler Harvey's picked up a warning in all of that.
Look, after seeing the replay, I can appreciate why he might have been a little agitated.
Could only be a warning for thievery, and that's it. Sixers will keep the rock. 3 on the shot clock for Cal. That is a tough shot.
Geez, he's feeling it. You can see the body language, the way in which he goes, strolls into that shot. Got his eye in from the free throw line in that opening term, and he has a game-high 12 already.
Robinson underneath. Misses another one. So does Froling. Robinson now 0 of 11 in his past 2 games. Starling hammers it home.
Wow, down the other end, the Hawks just missing easy opportunities, and Adelaide well and truly taking advantage.
They're up for the fight again, the 36ers. No Jacob Wiley and no problem so far for Scotty Nurse's crew. A couple more missed for the Hawks. 6 of 24.
Seem a little off sync. There's a lot of great individual efforts on the offensive end, but it's down this end, the ease at which they're getting their scoring opportunities, the Adelaide 36ers. Have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Starling, he's got some pop in these legs. Straight up, and with the 2 hands, tucks it in with a high degree of authority. Not ferocious, not hellacious, just with authority.
Meanwhile, Trey Cal, fellas, he is lining himself up for an enormous scoring output.
So 14 points for Cal. Of course, the Hawks made a backcourt addition during the week in Kyle Adnam. He caught up with Matt Russell pre-game.
Kyle, you quoted as saying it's nice to be back in the NBL. I gather that's an understatement. Is it a bit better than just nice?
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit of an understatement. Obviously difficult being away from friends and family and all the works, but to be back on home soil in a beautiful place like the Gong, I cannot complain.
From a team perspective, what's your take on Illawarra in a very short stint here so far?
I've been watching them over the past few weeks, obviously returning from Europe, and I think just that chemistry and on-court sort of culture that they've built has been incredible. They're high-paced, and, you know, for a player like me coming into this environment, any way that I can help, that's really important.
What's your role in this team, ideally, going forward?
Oh, look, I've just arrived, but for me, obviously, it's that leadership aspect. It's something I've done in my career previously as captain and things like that. And coming here, they've got a lot of young talent. So any way that I can sort of nurture them to sort of the next level is awesome. Guys like AJ who are going to have incredible futures. If I can play a small part in helping them for the rest of the year, it's going to be awesome.
Kyle Adnam, good to see him back in the NBL. We know what certainly an offensive output he can bring to the table.
Yeah, adds to their depth for sure. And, you know, if they do make a playoff push, adds to, you know, what they've got from a veteran experience in that backcourt. You know, if a guy like Justin Robinson gets hurt or anything like that, you've got some veteran experience there with Kyle Adnam to call on.
So plenty of work for the Hawks to do. That's a nice start out of the timeout to cut that margin back. Brad Rosen, they'll want to see more of that.
Yeah, they will, and that's exactly what they want to talk back. And I hear Andrew Gaze saying, get the ball in. Well, that's what Coach Tatum spoke about as well. They said, you've got to pick up the energy. That team that Adelaide just had on was the time for us to come back, is what he said, as Gary Clark takes another 3. And now he's like, we've got to fight this off here. Get stops, get the ball inside, and let's get this lead back.
Kell with the shot fake, steps inside and floats it home. Trey Kell's got 16.
And he's feeling it right now. And we often talk about what can happen when you get to the free throw line. 10 free throws in the quarter. He's seen a lot of the ball go through. And he's now 4 of 6 for his 16 points from the field.
16 points on 6 shots isn't bad going. Gary Clark, turn around to his right hand. Can't get it to go. Humphries gobbles up another rebound.
A lot of standing around when it went in there as well.
6 rebounds for Humphries. No board for the Sixers. 13-point lead for Adelaide. Going to improve to 9 and 14 on the season. Humphries goes around and out. Here, Justin Tatum summoning Lockie Olbrich off the bench. Nice pass from Harvey to find Froling.
Good look from Harvey. Now, he was quiet in that first quarter. A number of their starters were Harvey, Robinson, Gary Clark. They need those main guys to start to fire up. That was a good find for Froling down low.
Cal outside, can't hit. Sunday Detch applying a little bit of pressure. Oh, the steal! Just can't get it to go.
Well, he will not get an easier field goal attempt ever than what he just missed then.
Big weekend for Sunday Detch. Played his 150th on Wednesday. Ticking up a nice little achievement. Starling tried to find him here. Eventually does. And Sunday pulls it out for the Sixers. Once taken away. And Wani Swakala-Bullock was fouled. And Trey Kell, the question will be, was he making a play for the ball?
Well, he was making a play for the ball, but they'll be talking about clear path.
Yeah. But it was a legitimate play on the ball, though.
He is. It was, but he's behind Drew. Nobody in front.
Well, is he behind? He's more side on. You need to get a photo finish out there to see if he actually was behind. He's certainly coming from the side. And the ball's right there, Len. You're just reaching out to... I understand that the letter of the law, but when you think of...
So they might have a timeout to review the photo here. Race 2 at Wollongong. 11-point lead to the 36ers, 32-21. Of course, it is champion pride round in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Such a great celebration of inclusion and diversity. Isaac Humphries is so much a part of that. We spoke to him pre-game.
Your story is well known. You're a very motivational, respected face, I suppose, of champion pride round. You were big in the first game of pride round. Does it mean something to you? Is it extra motivation for Isaac Humphries to really fire in pride round?
Sure. I mean, of course. There's that little bit of fire in there to play better in this round. But again, man, I'm really focusing on just playing well every game. And with the pride round stuff, like, it's been great to see, and everyone's really bought into it and just let that negativity sort of do its thing. But, you know, we've all really, everyone involved's really had a really positive impact on it. And I love playing on a court with the rainbow, you know, flag on there and on our chest and stuff. And it's pretty surreal, you know, like to even be so open about it all and playing games like this and playing rounds like this. So I think I'm just taking it all as it comes, and I'm very proud of the position I have in the community, and I love to advocate for that, and I'll continue to do so. So yeah, it's been great.
He's so much a face of what's being put together, and he's a tremendous advocate. Not only is the league very lucky to have him, but also the LGBTQI plus community as well, as an advocate for that community.
My word. And the other thing about it, since he's come out, and maybe just coincidental or whatever, but his form this season has been outstanding. So It may be that there's just been a freeing up of the mind, a burden that's been removed, and it's a shame that certain people and sexualities have to carry that burden. That's what this is all about, trying to make sure that they do not have to see it as a burden.
Everyone feels welcome, no matter what and where. Basketball certainly a more welcoming place for initiatives like this. 36ers by 7. Hawks making a little mini run. Nick Marshall kisses it high off the window.
Well, they're just getting to the cup. The ease at which they're getting there, whether it's the middle on ball or just the ISO plays. Better job needs to be done on the ball, but also maybe look at the weak side help.
Frolling solo against Humphries. Fades away, can't hit. Albrecht grips it down. The South Australian out to Lee. Yes!
It's nice. The step back, just took his time. Hwang Jung Lee, and a good job from Lockie Albrecht. He can really make a menace of himself on the offensive glass, and he wins an extra possession for his team.
So Lee's got 8. He's 2 of 2 from downtown, 3 of 3 from the field. And the Hawks are working their way back into this one. Here's Sunday Detch getting all the way in.
And you look at the Adelaide 36ers on the season now. I know it's changed a little bit over the last 6 weeks, but they shoot the least amount of threes. They're not very good at shooting threes. So if anything, you'd think that you'd be hedging in and taking the odds and trying to protect the paint a little bit more and rely on some hard closeouts. And down the other end, Lee's given him a nice spark off the bench. No substitute for being able to put the ball in the hole, and Lee does it well.
Terrific move from Wani Swakala-Bullock as well to get himself to the line, rising over Isaac Humphries.
One shot.
And he can make it a 5-point ball game. Lead was as big as 13 for the Sixers at 32-19. Swakala-Bullock can't hit from the stripe. But a better second term here for the Hawks. Trailed by 6 at quarter time. That's the margin now. Humphries makes it 8. Lee from outside gets another one to go. And the bonus.
Well, is it on the shooter or is it fighting through the screen? I saw, I think it was Peatling hit the deck. Have a look. Comes off that here. Because there's nothing on Lee, I don't think.
Yep. Now the foul, it looked like Jackie Dover had pointed to the side.
Yeah.
After that.
So they'll get it back.
There was definitely no contact on Lee. Even in the moment, it looked as though it was only Mason Peatling that ran into him. And he was clearly helped. So back to a 5-point game now. Hawks with possession. Dedge almost pokes it away from Johnson.
Ooh.
Lee
Johnson.
Johnson.
Just some feedback for Johnson, saying I can find someone who can handle the ball. In other words, you need to be a little bit more secure with it.
He's out there with Lee and Blanchfield, Peatling and Albrecht at the moment. Another one goes down.
He's putting on a show. Hwang Jung Lee, 4 of 4 from long range.
He's 5 of 5 on the game, 14 points.
Surely you find him on this possession. Foul underneath, an offensive one.
30.
Underneath the basket. Lucky Albert. But this is a guy that, before this one, had it going. So he calls his own number, step back. Not terrible defense, but not enough with Lee in this type of form and mindset.
And it's a guy, Drewy, coming off a quiet game.
Yeah.
Just played the 10 minutes the other night. His minutes were a little down. He was having trouble at the defensive end. And he has come out and given the Hawks an enormous spark in this first half.
He's 14 points, season high is 15. He's dragged the Hawks back to within 2, 38-36. Trey Kell leads all scorers with 16, and he caught up with Brad Rosen pre-game.
In some rough circumstances this year, to be fair, you've had a tremendous season. How do you rate what you've done this year?
You know, the biggest thing I'm proud of is just, like you said, it's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of off-court things that, you know, us as a team couldn't control. So I'm just proud of the way, you know, I've stuck through it, dealing with the ups and downs myself. And, you know, I feel like you said, I've had a pretty good year with those circumstances.
Including tonight, 6 games left. You win all of those, you're 14-14, and you will probably be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about that?
Not necessarily in that situation. We just know every game is big for us and obviously where we're at, and we're just taking it one game at a time. So we had a good start with Southeast, and hopefully to carry over today.
Just keeping things in check, Trey Cal, but I mean, it is a little bit of a carrot, isn't it?
I don't know whether you may not need 14. 13 might actually get you there. So, but it's absolutely fair to say their margin for error is very small.
And the percentage that they'll have to make up might be a little bit of a factor as well. Adelaide, if they can work their way back into things. Vasiljevic back out there, getting straight to his spot, and he walked. So not what they drew up at the timeout. Matt Russell, you were listening into the Sixers.
Yeah, Scott Nennis was fired up. He implored his team not to blow all their hard work in the last 2 minutes of this first half. He said, we get hold of the Illawarra ball carrier, not literally, of course. We limit them to one shot, then we get downhill. Let's see how they execute that in the last minute 50.
Well, Matty, it looked like he was going hard at DJ Vasiljevic. Well, we couldn't hear it, but it seemed like he was pointing and having some stern words. Was he individualising at all?
No, it was across all the players sitting. He scanned their eyes, didn't make sure they all looked at him, but everyone copped it.
Thanks to Reebok, the official footwear partner of the NBL. This is your chance to sit in the Pumped by Reebok seats at John Cain Arena on Feb 18. The Hawks will be there. Melbourne United will be there. It's the final day of the regular season. Flights, accommodation are included, plus 2 $500 Reebok gift cards to kit you out in style. You can head to the QR code on the screen or nbl.com.au/Reebok.
Can you still get the pumps these days? Are they still available in sort of a retro type arrangement?
Love the pumps.
Oh, magnificent. Don't know how effective we were, but geez, it was a bit of fun blowing them up and getting them nice and tight around your foot.
Oh, Holbrook can't get it to go. 1 point ball game. Hawks have done a great job to fight their way back into this one. Currently on a 7-0 run. Starling takes it right at Albrecht. They've had plenty of battles in the NBL 1 Central, and they are new acquaintances here.
It's big, strong work from Alex Starling. Just bullies his way to the bucket here. Nothing particularly aesthetically pleasing
at all
about the play, but
well, the finish
notches up too. He protected it, kissed it off the glass in the end, and then everybody went down like ninepins.
So 3-point ball game, just over a minute remaining. Great to have you with us. Second leg of a doubleheader in Saturday night hoops. Johnson's off with the left hand, but Blanchfield's there for the follow.
Well, that's now 25 of their 39 points off the bench for the Hawks. This bench group have really given them a spark and brought them back in this thing.
Kell coming downhill, trying to get 2 more, no good. Johnson in transition. Blanchfield straight away. Sixers might try from outside, and Kell was happy to pull it out and have the clock wind down. Marshall attacking the rim. He's fouled.
That's certainly where they've had their most success, isn't it, Drew? Putting on the deck, Adelaide, and attacking the rim. This is their first trip to the free throw line, though, in this second quarter.
So 40 points for the 36ers. 26 of them have come in the painted area.
They did a great job getting to the stripe in that first term. Trey Kell, in particular, drew 9 fouls in that first term, but just the second on Illawarra in the second.
Marshall gets it to go. Started in 5 of his 19 appearances this season, Nick Marshall.
They're late 36ers, and because they are doing their work off the bounce, in a whole half of basketball, they've only got 2 assists. Yeah.
AJ Johnson with time winding down. Sizes up Starling to beat the halftime buzzer. He can't get it off. And we go to halftime with the Hawks down by 3. The Sixers scored the first 9 points of the ball game and have come out very strong, looking for their 9th win of the season. The Hawks trying to get their 10th, but it is a close one at halftime. Hawks 39, Sixers 42. Let's get down to Matt Russell, who's got Trey Cowell.
Yeah, Trey just gathering his breath for a moment, but Trey, great January, continued through that first quarter. How do you feel, though, to be only up by 3 at halftime?
Yeah, it's, we gave him a chance to come back in the game. We were in a good rhythm. Lee, credit to him, made some big shots for them. So some things we got to shore up, but it's better to be up than down.
What happened for Lee to get on that roll? What broke down for Adelaide?
I think a couple offensive rebounds where he got open and they found him. He hit a tough step back 3, good shot by him. And when a shooter gets confidence like that, it makes it that much harder to stop him. So, we just got to lock in on him a little more in the second half.
Still a great first half by you. Good luck keeping it going.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
3-point ball game at halftime. Saturday night hoops in Wollongong. It's the Hawks 39, trailing the Sixers 42.
have some things I want to fill you in on and let you know about myself. A few years ago, I fell into a very dark place. The main reason behind me becoming so low and being in that point is because I was very much struggling with my sexuality and coming to terms with the fact that I'm gay, and I don't want to hide who I am anymore. I decided that if I'm going to join a team, that I'm going to come out publicly. I just want to be myself. I've discovered this is my purpose in life, and I'm going to give it my best go.
Sold the dummy to everyone and then threw it down on top of them.
It's been 10 months since I came out. My life as, you know, the only openly gay basketballer in the world is one lane, but then, you know, a lot of other opportunities have come up with ambassadorships for mental health and my singles and my music lane. Like, a lot of stuff is opening up. It's been pretty full on. It was a really tough couple of years. Truth was, I was harboring a huge secret and like really struggled with who I was. I was terrified to come out to my teammates, let alone how other teams and the boys would sort of react and feel about it all. But to have them run out and stand there like really proud and look me in the eye and be like, we're with you, was like really special. And I really do remember that. It sticks out and it will forever. Things are just so good right now and things are really bright. I'm fully out of that really dark space and get to reflect back on that. It was really tough, but I would never have changed it at all. I learned a lot about myself and I grew as a person, and I learned that I could get through like really dark times and be at the bottom and still make it out the other end. The goal of that round isn't to shove anything in anyone's face, isn't to force anything on anyone. It's just to show support to our fans and that community that you are welcome here in basketball and that basketball is a space for everybody. It is a shared environment that you can exist in. And if you want to play basketball as a gay man, you can. If you want to be a fan of basketball as a gay person, you can. You can be anything you want and basketball is there with you. It's just purely to support people that are just trying to like live their lives, you know?
Yeah, good on you, Isaac Humphries. Interviewing Isaac pre-game, Brad Rosen. I thought, how fitting is it that Champion Pride Round has a man who has driven it so proud, not only in the way he's playing at the moment, but the fact that the league has embraced this round the way it has. In terms of the numbers for Isaac today so far, 6 rebounds, 4 points, so not in the realm that he has found in recent weeks. And he and Sam Froll in this big battle down low, they're cancelling each other out.
Yeah, they are. I think both are playing quite well. I think you look at Trey Kell and Lee, they're shooting the ball well. So those boys are just banging down low and having a bit of fun.
But it's Isaac Humphries' team, Adelaide, with a narrow lead on the back of these Hungry Jacks highlights with centre on Trey Kell. Since New Year, he's played 4 games, more than 20 points in every one. Rebounds are plenty, assists are plenty, and that form continues.
His control is just fabulous. That's what I love about him. Like, we saw him a number of times over a couple of years, but this time he's one of those players that looks like he has so much time, and that's a sign of a good player. Today, you look at what their halftime stats here, it's really minimal in it, and that's why there's a 3-point game. But the interesting one, and Andrew Gay's picked it up, 42 points on the back of 2 assists. That's not a lot. That's all one man out for Illawarra.
Trey Kell, 4 of 6 from the field. He has got to the line 10 times, and of course dropping those free throws very accurately. For the Hawks, they were paddling early, stuck in the mud. This offense was really grinding. Enter Wang Jung Lee, and the threes started raining, Brad.
Wasn't he brilliant? There's just so high arse release, the way he's been able to do it. He's got the little, just can shoot right over you. I love the fact that Justin Tatum is putting his bench in. That's when they're looking good. And that step back 3 is what he's got. And now he's in rhythm. And he's 4 of 4 from the 3-point line. Look for him to keep launching it up and making sure he keeps going. That step back, only a couple of seconds left on the shot clock. Wow, he's carried them this half, and they certainly needed it. You look at his Blackmore shot chart.
Yeah, Liam Santamaria raised a good point. He was a bit slow against Cairns 48 hours ago, didn't get the minutes or opportunities or shots to go as he would have liked, but today you felt that if they could have found him a 5th time after he dropped those first 4, it was going down as well. So Wang Jung Lee, do they get him on the floor quickly in this third quarter. We'll find out very shortly. When it comes to tomorrow, we're set for a fantastic double, Brad. You and I are engaged with Liam Santamaria at Kudos Bank Arena when we see the Sydney Kings, I assume back in purple, playing the Perth Wildcats, both of their biggest wins of the season.
Brilliant. Kings were great last week against New Zealand, and then Perth. Well, they're just fun to watch, Matty, and this is going to be an absolute ripper. 2 p.m, Kudos Bank Arena, cannot wait.
Adams against Cotton, 2 league MVPs, and then we've got the Sunshine Stoush, Cairns, who beat the Hawks here 48 hours ago against the Brisbane Bullets. Boys, plenty on the line there as well.
Brilliant. Bullets have to fight back. Let's hope they can get their boys back and playing, but yeah, it's going to be a great one, Matty.
2 games coming your way tomorrow, but we've got the second half here still to come. The Adelaide 36ers narrowly ahead of Illawarra.
Half-time in Wollongong, beautiful Saturday night. And it is some interesting basketball at the moment. A three-point game at half-time. Sixers 42, Hawks 39. Hawks looking for their 10th win of the season. Sixers for their 9th. Joel Peterson, Liam Santamaria, Andrew Gaze, Matt Russell, Brant Rosen with you. Great to have you company in this second leg of our Saturday night doubleheader. As Gary Clark inbounds the ball, and they need to get him some more touches, Liam.
Yeah, they need to get him going. 36 the other night, Gary Clark. Just 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field in that first half. So they go right at him on the opening possession, and he gets sent away. Oh.
Well, the thing is, it's when you look at what they've done, they're only trailing by 3. Across their 3 imports, they've only got 4 points. So they haven't had a lot of productivity from guys that are capable of some big numbers. Anything you can do, I can match.
He's Harvey in the corner. Yes! Tyler Harvey ties it up.
Well, that's one of the guys you're talking about, Drew. 2 of 15 combined across the 3 imports in that first half. That'll help. Tyler Harvey from the corner.
So 42 apiece. Harvey's 3-ball gets us nodded at that score. Lovely move from Humphries.
Crafty. Got Froling off his feet. It's going to be a blocking foul, I would have thought. But Froling down low. He's another one who was solid. Had 4 points in the first half, but he's capable of a lot more, as you can see the work that he can do on the low block.
This was beautiful.
With that
school work in the block.
With Isaac Humphries, I'm saying, with getting Froling off his feet. But down this end is they should take a leaf out of that book and get Froling down on the block.
Oh, Froling comes right back at Humphries. That was unconventional.
But I like the fact they're making a target out of him. Their success over a lot of this season has been because of him. And there you have it, not only just with what he can do on the blocks, but he'll find you. And that time there, good kick-out pass, good 3-ball.
Harvey rattles another one in. So 2 of 2, Tyler Harvey, and the Hawks have got a 1-point lead.
Well, here's the Harvey Norman replay. It was a broken play in the end. Now, there's the catch and shoot 3 in the corner, and then
kick out.
The kick out there. Now, on the stat series, we got Harvey for 5 points, 1 of 3 from long range, but they were both behind the arc. And the Hawks now trail by a single bucket.
They just didn't have the score for Illawarra, the first basket out of the break. The Harlem Globetrotters coming down under this year. Unparalleled basketball innovation and fan fun. Of course, shows right around Australia and New Zealand. You can scan the QR code on your screen or head to hg2024.nbl.com.au to become part of the fun with the Globetrotters coming down under.
Some scoreboard issues, I believe, at the venue.
Yep, so Tyler Harvey's 3 should have made it 42-42. Adelaide then scored to make it 42 or 44-42, and then Harvey hit a 3 to make it 45-44, which is what you see on your screen right now.
We got it right.
Tyler Harvey just needs to be credited with another basket. Pen and paper never fails until it does.
Some concerns now for the Adelaide 36ers on the defensive end. Harvey's seen a couple go through.
It's a worrying sign. It doesn't take him long to heat up Tyler Harvey. That is for sure. Can be very, very dangerous when he gets going. Trey Kell get that to go. They trade the lead again.
He's been really the lone hand at the offensive end. Vasiljevic has 8, but Trey Kell with 18. The only 36er in double figures. And they're doing here what they've been doing in recent times under Scott Ninnis. Flip up the lineup, bring Jason Kidd into the starting group to begin the second half.
White 34, home, start out.
Foul off the ball. DJ's called for a personal. So 3 fouls for Isaac Humphries. No one has more than 2 apart from that. Harvey with the runner. Tapped away.
Heads up play from Humphries. Ball sitting on the rim and he knocks it away.
And at the other end, Humphries goes to work. Pulls up a little bit short. Gary Clark almost lost it in the backcourt. 1-point ball game. Hawks trailed by as many as 13 at 32-19. Robinson can't buy one for love nor money. Harvey started the quarter and couldn't miss.
Yeah, Robinson's in a bit of a long-term funk over the last couple of games. He's struggled with his shooting.
Gee, Trey Kell.
That's a big hit from Trey Kell.
He is rolling. They get lost a little defensively.
Well, that's it.
The Hawks, a little miscommunication, Drewy. And they leave the hottest hand in the gym alone on the arc.
The guy's been carrying him. He's got 18 before that one. and the ease at which he just stepped into the 3-ball is a surprise.
Rolling to his left, gets it to go. Makes it a 2-point game again. Let's go courtside. Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I want to throw it to Liam and Andrew. How long do you stay with Justin Robinson? He's actually 0 of 12 over the last 2 nights, and on both occasions they've taken him out tonight. They have actually made a run. He just is not delivering, and I might question you, how long?
Well, right now, when you look at what Lee's productivity, he had 14 in the first half. You don't want to sit him too long, getting back involved.
Vasiljevic at the other end lays it home.
And I think we got some of the answer to that, Brad, in the first half, where he only played the 7 minutes. AJ Johnson had a little bit extra run, and Illawarra Swakala handled the ball at times. So certainly he played a little less in that first half because he is struggling right now.
Gary Clark hasn't had it either after his monster performance the other night. Vasiljevic gets past Robinson. Swakala reached in and poked it away. It'll stay a wide ball.
The other guy of interest is Gary Clark. We mentioned him at the start of the quarter. Justin Robinson's going to check out now. And Clark comes out as well. You know, the fellas talked about the sore knee. He grabs at the knee right there as he sits down.
Doesn't look 100%.
He's been quiet.
Oh, Humphreys! Monstrous jam.
Good find by Kadee on the inbounds.
Big powerful dunk from Isaac Humphreys, and Froling goes with some finesse at the other end and gets fouled.
Kadee almost fumbled it on the inbounds pass. You have a look at here, he sort of hesitates a little bit. Oh, and that sort of just threw the defense off a little bit, and it worked out perfectly. Isaac Humphreys, he's been a beast on the road. He scored 25 plus in each of Adelaide's last 3 away games. So he's liking his work on the road, Liam.
Well, that is something, truly.
Isn't it?
Isn't it? Because he's been strong at home as well.
True.
Which is the interesting part. Both home and on the road, getting things done.
That's right.
Where you're getting that kind of intel from.
AI does some terrific work.
Fans can get hooked up with some of that stuff, NBL Plus.
Now, it is interesting, though, because sometimes the going can be a little tougher on the road.
36ers with a road double this weekend. Of course, the last time they had a road double, we heard all about that.
We know the Globetrotters are coming to town, but there's a little...
The Generals arrived early.
That's what I was about. That just had a little tardiness about everything about that set.
So halfway gone in this third period. Hawks trail by 4. Harvey makes his way through the lane and he is fouled.
Here's one for you, Liam, because we saw it the other end on a couple of plays before. DJ goes to the rim, and as he's rim, he's screaming, trying to scream out foul, and we saw this one that did look like a foul, but you heard Harvey doing the same thing. It was put to me during the week that those types of screams should go in the same category as the flop.
Is that right?
Now, at the minute,
Did you wail when you felt some contact coming your way?
I don't recall. There's no doubt there was some exaggeration of contact from time to time.
Any moaning or groaning.
But it was when I first heard it, I thought, oh, geez, it sounds a bit odd. But then when you start to think of the logic about it, might have something to it, perhaps. I probably wouldn't endorse it, but, you know, it was not a bad thought.
Vasiljevic underneath has it taken away. Davo Hickey races up the floor, and Galloway spikes that one away, but there was a foul on the play.
It was aggressive, wasn't it? 2 shots. He saw Galloway ahead of him. It was 1-on-4 in essence, because he had 3 36ers bearing down, but got on the attack. Galloway put the hand out. Referee Kim Widgeon all over it.
And he magnated.
Very limited contact. And Galloway got the personal.
Yeah.
So the Hawks with a chance to tie it up at the line. Hickey hits the first. Let's go and check in with Matty Russell.
Just further to the discussion sparked by Brad, they have taken Justin Robinson from the floor now, and Lee back out there along with this man at the line, Will Hickey. But another question to Liam and Drew is now the time for the experience, the leadership, the energy of Kyle Adnam. Can you see him coming into the game sometime over the next few minutes?
Well, he's only been with the program for a short period of time, and understanding the sets and the actions that they want to get to when it's the margin, or right now it's tied up. So I'm not sure whether this is going to be the time we're going to see him. I think they probably need to do a little bit more work to him in his preparation. Has been playing in Romania, so it's not like he's just been sitting on the sidelines. He's been active.
Lee on the take was met by Galloway. They're able to get it to go.
Sloppy.
Now Lee might try his luck from outside.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
Galloway
goodness.
got a piece of it and a piece of him. Vasiljevic the other way. Marshall in the corner. Bang!
Turnaround. Mayhem. At the Wynn Entertainment Centre, Lee looked like he was assaulted on the three-point line.
Just about had his shoulder dislocated.
Love to get another look at it. Must have been clean. The official was right there, and then Marshall down the other end.
Here is Lee again, all the way in and one.
Well, it's a good take in the end. Gee, Galloway does a good job of protecting the rim. He had a little element of Simon Dwight. This is the play we're talking about.
Clean.
Oh, do you reckon?
I reckon it was clean.
Let's have a look.
Oh, no, not clean at all. I retract that.
Walked that one back very quickly.
And straight away, they capitalise. They push the ball up. Gee, there wasn't a lot going on there.
Liam was like Adelaide in transition, then except in reverse. Lee gets it to go. He's got 19, so a new season high for Young Lee. It's been a very nice performance from Lee tonight. Lead all scorers for the Hawks. Cal leads all scorers in the game with 21. Tied away at 58. And Lee comes up with a defensive play this time. Doing a bit of everything.
Well, contributing at both ends. The teammates getting around him. Hwang Jung Lee sliding his feet. Guys were getting around him the other night. And he sends that shot packing.
So 4.5 remaining on the shot clock here for the Sixers. Looking to get to 500 in their tenure under Scott Ninnis. 4-5 coming into tonight. The Hawks, of course, looking to get back to the winners list after losing 2, and Mitch McCarron just plain old throws that away.
Just a miscommunication, I think. Mitch McCarron must have thought that there was going to be a post-up action. He actually didn't have his peripheral vision because DJ Vasiljevic was coming off the high screen and might have had a 3-ball opportunity.
So the Hawks with a chance to hit the front. Peatling barrels his way inside.
Now, I'm not sure that's in the playbook for the Hawks. Peatling putting it on the deck and trying to create off the bounce. We talked about Justin Robinson and how he's been quiet in this game, fellas. I really feel like the sleeping giant for the Hawks is Gary Clark. Off the 36 points, we saw him grabbing at his knee on the bench the other night. Matt, you're down that end with the Hawks. Is that it doesn't look like there's any treatment for Clark. You've been watching him in recent games. That knee getting the better of him today?
Absolutely. I watched him before he came off. I thought he looked really stiff and proppy as he went up and down the court. When he came to the bench, you picked it up. He looked uncomfortable. He grabbed at his knee, and he hasn't looked like coming back on yet. Pretty much expressionless, it must be said, as he sits coolly sideline. But on the court, Hwang Jung Lee, just speaking to the Hawks, they are amazed at his work ethic. Now, admittedly, he maybe not be the biggest fan of Illawarra's beaches, doesn't find his way into the water a lot, Hwang Jung Lee, but he uses his time well, shooting the ball morning, noon and night. He just works so hard even beyond practice. A bit like Drew, he probably shoots in his sleep, Hwang Jung Lee, and the results of it are being seen tonight.
Almost got the takeaway there. Of
course.
He's playing with a lot of energy as well. We saw down the other end, diving on loose ball. That time gets a deflection.
Well, it's been a good response, because I don't think the film review would have been too kind on him in that Cairns game the other night at the defensive end. So he's come out looking to turn that around.
Giving them everything they need. 7 of 9 from the field, 19 points. Galloway is wide open for 3 and makes it count.
Well, if they had a look at the film from the game against Phoenix, you can't let Galloway that open. Olbrich trying to do the right thing, but way too much help.
23 and 7 on Wednesday night for Kyron Galloway, and Hickey comes rolling downhill to answer back. One-point ball game. Sixers have had the lead for most of the contest, scored the first 9 points of the game. Hawks hit the front earlier in this third period. Marshall with the moves. Not the finish. Bodies collide for the loose ball.
Black 22.
And the foul's going on Peatling.
Well, you love the endeavour.
Yeah.
You love the effort. Guys getting on the deck, getting after it. Peatling will always throw his body around, and there picks up the personal. Second team foul on the Hawks for the quarter.
Third foul on Mason Peatling for the evening. Playing a bit over 12 minutes a game this season for Justin Tatum's team. Of course, the Hawks still with 7 games to come after this. Another doubleheader next week at Perth and New Zealand at home. Galloway with the putback and one.
He's everywhere. He's knocking down 3 balls. He's protecting the rim and being a real presence on the defensive end. Now the attack on the offensive board. Got to do a better job of getting him on your back. That athleticism on show.
Bit of claret for Nick Marshall, who's taken a whack somewhere along the line. So he might have to trade in the number 9 for a bit of a downgrade in terms of a jersey number. See what they've got in the kit bag out the back. The bonus will go for the Sixers. They lead by 4. They led by 3 at half-time, by 6 at quarter-time. Hickey was looking inside for Albright, couldn't find him. Outside is Blanchfield. It's very, very long. Sunday Dead comes up with the rebound. Minute and a half remaining in this third period. The Sixers on the road with no Jacob Wiley are making a really good fist and making the Hawks work for it. Starling working underneath. Back to the full extent of a 2-possession ball game. Lee trying to eat into that straight away.
They're having a really good finish to the quarter here. The 36ers establishing a lead. That will really help. Ooh, in and out.
Aaron that was down and out. That was a very unkind roll for Mitch McCarron. Hickey getting inside.
A much-needed bucket. Things were going against the Hawks, and that one from Hickey just helps the home team stem the tide.
Foul on the floor as Cal tries to make his move.
Side out.
Couple of changes for Justin Tatum. Davo Hickey takes a seat.
Good minutes from Hickey. Drew it.
Yep.
I needed someone to come in and help out, and he's done a good job.
Yeah, he has. And just the intensity and the pace that he plays at helps out a lot. Illawarra looking
6
at
points too.
Some zone defense, it looked like, on this out-of-bounds play. Ooh, they missed it.
Starling spins and hits.
Wow. That's impressive.
Going back to work on Albright too. Of course, Alex Starling played the NBL1 Central for South Adelaide, and Lockie Albright playing in that competition as well. Very good West Adelaide team. Now time winding down in the third period. Johnson couldn't get the shot off to beat half-time. What can he do at three-quarter time? Floats it up, can't hit. McCarron with the prayer. That won't be answered. But at three-quarter time, the 36ers are in control of the ball game. They lead at 68-62, and the Hawks are going to need something special down the stretch.
A big final quarter to come at the Wynn Entertainment Centre with Adelaide leading the home team 68-62 after three quarters. Adelaide trying to go 4-1 for January. Illawarra desperate to avoid three straight losses under Justin Tatum. The Illawarra head coach at three-quarter time said to his side, the opposition is in a groove. They're shooting. They're feeling like the ball's going down. We've got to disrupt them. I don't care about the fouls. Let's get them off their offensive rhythm. Brad Rosen, what happened at the Adelaide quarter?
So 36ers by 6, 68-62. As we head into this final period. Sixers looking for their 9th win of the season to go to 5-5 under that man. And the Illawarra Hawks trying to get to 10-11 to sit half a game outside the top 6. Of course, Brisbane to play tomorrow against Cairns. And Sydney and Perth in the Sunday doubleheader as Nick Marshall puts up the circus shot.
Well, Scott Ninnis calls Nick Marshall's number. Feels like he can take him off the bounce. The finish was a little awkward, but he was able to get it to drop.
Ulbrich Johnson, Froling, Swakala, Bullock and Blanchfield out there for the Hawks. Lockie Ulbrich again. He's a menace on the O-glass limb.
He's tough on there. Yep, has a real good nose for the ball, and those extra possessions are like gold. 12 offensive rebounds now for the Hawks, dominant in that area.
+8 in that category. Cal at the free throw line. He's called off just a little bit. The 36ers get an O-board back themselves. Oh, good pass into the corner from Cal. Marshall scooting into the lane. So Nick Marshall is there as a foul on the play. 36ers by 6. Let's check in with Brad.
Yeah, sorry about that. Was talking to the Adelaide boys. Look, they're very comfortable where they're at. Scotty Ninner said, as long as we limit them to one shot, I promise you we will wear them down. We can obviously see Nick Marshall. He got a new shirt, new socks, some tape on the hand and the finger. He's right to go, except he didn't make the free throw.
He's playing well, isn't he? And you can see he's growing in confidence. He's up into double digits now.
The Illawarra fans might be a little bit peckish at this time of night. Nick Marshall says, no food for you. They'll have to wait if they want burgers. 7-point lead to the Sixers. Blanchfield looking for an opening. Doesn't need an invitation for long. Ulbrich again on the offensive glass.
But he went in there unscathed, untouched. No one with a responsibility. He beat them the previous possession on the O boards. He goes in, walks in for an easy 2.
Reinforcements getting ready for the Hawks. Harvey and Lee getting set to check back in. Cal with the floater was fouled.
Once again, getting into the lane and getting to the free throw line. Did not get that done in the second quarter, Trey Cal. Was still able to tick the scoreboard over a little in the second and third quarters. I'm sorry, but he just lost his way to the free throw line in the first quarter, and he's back there right now.
Of course, the no-ball tour coming down under in February. Sydney, Melbourne and Hobart. Big shout out to Luke Longley as well. Birthday yesterday for the Chicago Bulls. Great. He'll be there alongside Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. 55 yesterday, Luke Longley. So happy birthday to Luke. He's been in the States recently, in Chicago.
Yeah, with their ring of honour with the Bulls. It was great. Great presentation they had for their championship teams.
We've been regaling some of the stories that they'll be talking about at those no-ball shows in February. 7-point lead to the Sixers. They scored the first 9 points of the game. They've held the lead for most of the contest. The Hawks hit the front a couple of times in the third period. But it's been Adelaide's night on the whole. Can they close it out? Sam Froling doing his best to pull the Hawks back into it. Might need more of that. He's got 12 points, Froling, but it's been a quiet night for Clark, for Robinson, for Harvey, and Galloway at the other end drains the triple.
I think you've got to switch on those.
Got to be a switch.
Yeah, it has to, because we've got it's too good a shooter. He's already, that's his second on almost the identical play.
Tyler Harvey downhill. Lefty finish won't go. Take a look at the Harvey Norman replay.
Here's a look at it, Drew, what you're talking about, the pick and roll action, and it's a pick and pop with Galloway. It's got to be a switch because he's too dangerous. You think of the sharp shooting bigs in this type of situation, and both guys, everyone trying to recover on Galloway. They know a little bit too late how dangerous he is. And now, off that dead ball, Justin Tatum turning back to Justin Robinson, who is 0 for Saturday. He's 0 for round 16.
Correct. 0 for Thursday as well.
So, big moment. Trying to get back in this game, and their import point guard who's struggling is back in the game.
Shows the trust that the coach has got in him to deliver when it matters. With the talent that he can. Question is whether he will. Humphreys in the paint. Can't connect. And it's last touched by the big man.
Well, another really good look. That's a let-off for the Illawarra Hawks. And they've got some issues of decisions to make of what they're going to do with their on-ball screens. There was another example of it. This time it was with the roll.
Harvey surveying the court. Lee's been terrific for the Hawks. Froling down low, gets the step and the finish.
He's growing in confidence as well, up to 14 points, 60% from the field, Froling, and he's coming up good trumps when they go to him down low.
Could be a battle of the big man down the stretch here. Humphreys takes it right back at him.
The footwork is superb.
Big men are hitting the dance floor early on a Saturday night here in Wollongong. Harvey now scoots his way inside and says the little boys can do it as well. It's not all about you big fellas. 5-point ball game, Sixers lead. Marshall all the way underneath. Dench offloads to Humphries. And Justin Tatum's seen enough. Sixers by 7. 80 plays 73. Just under 6 minutes remaining.
Well, they're in a big hole now, the Hawks. Down 7. Justin Tatum calls for time. They need to get themselves sorted out. They've got a couple of guys who have been really, really quiet. Key guys. Justin Robinson and Gary Clark, the 2 imports, combined 2 points off 1 of 11 from the field. And you can see the intensity on Tatum's face right now, saying, hey, geez, we're over-helping and not getting it done at the defensive end, leading guys open on the arc, and then offensively, guys, get on the same page. And he's got to draw up some action for Gary Clark, in my mind. Get him on the block, get him going. You're going to need him down the stretch.
So Gary Clark getting some work done at the snooze timeout. Sixers in charge of this ball game by 7.
Well, that's right. It's 10 on the board, so there has been some confusion. There we go. It's back to what we had.
Pen and paper, Drew.
Perfect. I trust you. But Illawarra got some decisions to make on the defensive end, as do the Adelaide 36ers, by the way. But do they continue with their strategy with these on-balls and just try to do it better? Or do they look at switching and a few other options?
So 5-point ball game, 5.5 minutes left. Foul as Kadee makes his way inside. So he'll step to the line and shoot a couple. A critical timeout with 6 minutes remaining. Brad Rosen, you were listening in to Scott Ninnis.
Oh, it was, and it was critical, and he is extremely happy. He said, just stay with our defense. There's no changes, and the number one key is only give them one shot. He said, offensively, don't protect the lead. Go hard and keep going with pace. Matty, what about Illawarra?
Justin Tatum irate, unhappy with his side's defence. He said, you've got to get a player in front of you. And Drewy, they are talking about switching it up. I've got a stat attack for the Adelaide fans here. They've won the 4th quarter in 9 of the last 10 games against Illawarra. If they do it again, they'll have their 4th win of January. And Liam, I wonder what that does to plans going forward for Adelaide. Do they all of a sudden think, hang on, we might have more pieces here to keep than we originally thought?
Well, they've got a lot of thinking to do in terms of the coach and the roster, and certainly this last part of the season will help them get a better idea of all that. But right now, it's about trying to close this one out on the road.
Humphries inside again. They find him. Nice ball movement from the Sixers.
It was a little late, but Jason Kadee read that perfectly. They hard show, and the extra pass paid off, hit the roller. But look here, there it is. So Clark just left too early. Needed to stay. He was in a help position to try and protect that roll, but he went on the pass. But Kadee just paused enough to find him.
And you can see Clark's out of the game. He's not moving well. He's gone to the end of the bench. He does look like he's going to the locker room.
That's a big blow down the stretch, but H.J. Lee might be the man to carry them.
Well, he's had an enormous night. 22 now for Lee. 5 of 6 from long range.
He might just strap them to his back and say, come along for the ride. Hawks down by 5. Sixers ball. He lost it out of court. Hawks wanted it to be their rock. It's going to stay in white. Not quite ready for the inbound, but Galloway was ready to hammer it home.
Well, Tyler Harvey, he wanted the review. He went all the way to the sideline, and they were caught short-handed because he thought that they were going to call for the review.
Galloways are making big dunks, a fine art. They are a jamming family, the Galloway brothers. Cal the way in gets the roll.
Well, they've started hard showing these ball screens, and it's not working.
Nope.
The 36ers picking it apart, marching past the defense.
Harvey now, he gets it to go.
Big response. Those 3 balls keeping the Hawks in it right now.
They won't go quietly, the Hawks. The Sixers are going to have to put them away if they are to win this one.
It is, and if you go back a couple of games against the Cairns Taipans, the Adelaide 36ers did not handle the last quarter when they were in a highly winnable position all that well on the road. And we see Robinson checking out.
David Hickey into the contest as Humphrey spots up from mid-range.
Big moves from Justin Tatum in big moments. The 2 imports, Clark and Robinson out. Peatling and Hickey come in, and Harvey is heating up.
It's the last thing Adelaide needs. Game has been around that 6-point margin for so long. It was that at quarter time, that at 3/4 time. Trey Cal high off the glass, can't get it to go, but Humphreys puts it back in.
He's putting him on his back and said, get me the ball and I'll get it done. This time, though, it was on the O boards. He's everywhere and playing with a lot of passion and emotion.
Oh, Galloway might have tipped that home at the other end.
He's got a shootout. All of a sudden, it's a scoring feast.
Well, H.J. Lee, he will claim that one, surely. He's got 24 now, an NBL career high.
Humphreys trying to get it to go again. Can't make it happen. 2.5 left, and Lee has another one. No, this time Galloway took it out. Hawks irate, can't believe that they didn't get a call there.
Well, it looked like it came off the board, didn't it?
The Sandpit very unhappy with that call. At the other end, Cal with time winding down. Won't go. Maybe a little bit of justice in that. Under 2 minutes now. Harvey inside. That's swatted by Humphreys. Straight to Peatling.
Big time defense from Humphreys. The block, the wall up, sending the Hawks away as they attack the rim.
Now the 36ers doing all they can to hold on. Cal, Kadee, Humphreys, Galloway and Vasiljevic out there. Kadee can't hit. Humphreys keeps it alive, but only momentarily. Harvey's going to be the man for the Hawks. Straight away. Won't go. Froling rips it down.
3 seconds.
Goes straight up. Can't hit. Hickey's underneath. He can.
Wow.
Well, the offensive rebounds, Drew, for the Hawks throughout this second half have pounded the offensive glass, and as a result, they're still in this game.
Oh, very much so. Now, clearly a stop is critical for them in this next possession, and there's been some interesting decisions. Tyler Harvey, he's been aggressive in this last quarter. There's that O board that we're talking about. And then here, Kel just doing not enough.
That's off the glass.
That should have been a goaltend. I think Galloway had a look in his face as if he almost thought it was going to be a goaltend. And there's the Humphreys rejection that you were talking about. The rim protection, and there's the wall up. Great stuff by Isaac Humphreys, who in this last quarter has turned it on. He's up to 18 points in the contest, and he's also got the 10 boards, so another double-double for him. We're looking at the live ladder, and for the first time in a long time, if this scorelines continues, they're going to be off the bottom of the table.
You can see how important it is for the Hawks as well. breakers, the bullets, the taipans, they're all right there, ripe for the picking, but you can't drop these games at home. A home double for the Hawks this weekend, and right now they're staring down the barrel of going 0-2.
A win would get them within half a game of Brisbane for that 6th spot. They can't get into the top 6 no matter of the result here, the Hawks, but they can close that gap. They're going to need something down the stretch here. Same 5 for Adelaide. Kalkady, Humphries, Galloway and Vasiljevic. DJ's got 10 points. Humphries has been the man down the stretch. And Vasiljevic is fouled.
I like the attack on the rim. So many times in these circumstances, we see DJ pulling up for the 3. It's a step back and a tough, contested, long-range opportunities. This time, just goes, puts his head down, gets to the rim, and Lee, with a very mild nudge, sends DJ to the free throw line.
54 points in the paint tonight for the Sixers.
And they've marched their way in there, haven't they, Joel? Off the bounce. And you see what they've been doing in these last few minutes. They're hunting that Hwang Jung Lee matchup. They're hunting him as the primary defender on the ball, getting him switched on there as Vasiljevic knocks those down, and then they're getting on the attack.
Calm as you like for DJ. And the Hawks back the other way. 6-point ball game. Harvey to Hickey. Up among the trees. Has it denied. Cal up the floor. Runs into all kinds of trouble and finally gets the call.
Like 6.
Now, they needed a quick basket, but it was the wrong action to go to for him in that circumstance. But they needed something quick. Tried to get to the rim for the bucket or the foul. And now it's a very difficult equation for the Illawarra Hawks.
Trey Cal with his 13th and 14th free throws of the evening misses the first.
We had 10 of them in the first quarter.
This would be timely burgers. Not this time, says Trey Cal. And a timeout. Justin Tatum gets a chance to talk it over with his team. Down by 7, 94-87.
Things can happen in a blink of an eye, and gee whiz, this goaltend is going to be one that it's a big moment at a big time, at a huge time of the season, that appeared to be an unfortunate error.
The other big headache for the Hawks here as they try to find a way to get something out of these last 30 seconds and pull off a miracle is this knee issue for Garrett Clark.
Yeah.
They're going to go 0-2 from this weekend if they can't pull something off here and take an injury from Clark out of it. But in the meantime, Hwang Jung Lee, he has been a real bright spark. His previous high had been 15, and tonight he's poured on 24.
He's been a handful for that Adelaide 36ers defence tonight. Brad Rosen listening in to Scott Ninnis and how they're drawing it up, Adelaide.
They are very good in the defensive stance. They are going to switch everything through 1 through 4. They will allow Humphries to be in the drops. They're not worried about Sam Froling stepping back with a 3, but everyone else switches. Let's see how they do it.
So Lee, Harvey, Hickey, Froling, Blanchfield, the 5 for Illawarra. Harvey stops, props, caught off balance, fouled.
Well, that's an interesting one because they've got fouls to give, the 36ers, so they're impressive.
Still got one more as well. That's only their 3rd. Great help by Isaac Humphries. And they filled the lane on the weak side well as well.
Harvey for 3. Won't go. Hickey underneath, keeps it alive. 5-point game.
And a good foul. You got to stop. You got to stop the clock now. They don't let any time come off the clock. Quick foul. Vasiljevic now needs to walk his way to the free throw line. The 36ers need to close it out from the stripe.
Very good free throw shooter. He's the one that, you're right, they had to foul, but you're trying to have someone else catch it because he's an 88% free throw shooter.
He's 3 of 3 tonight. Now he's 4 of 4. Meanwhile, Dave O'Hickey's up to a season high 10 points, 4 of 5 from the field. Vasiljevic for the second to make it a 3-possession game. Rattles it in. And the Hawks go back to the drawing board to see what they can cook up. Try and cut back into this lead. There's enough time if they are good enough, but it's an uphill battle.
We got to hand it to the 36ers. They've been asked a few questions along the way here, but double-digit scoring from every one of their starters, including guys like Nick Marshall and Kyron Galloway, young guys who potentially have a big future at the franchise, and they are going to close this one out by the looks of things.
Big day coming up tomorrow as well to round out this champion pride round in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We started off in Sydney. You'll be there, Liam, for the Kings and the Wildcats.
It's going to be a good one. The Kings found some form in their last one, and the Wildcats, as we know, red hot right now. Bryce Cotton versus Jalen Adams. Get your popcorn ready.
And then we come off that into a sunshine stoush between the Bullets and the Taipans. 2 teams in 5th and 6th on the table. They never need an invitation for a little bit more spice in that game, Drewy, and it's certainly going to be a tasty one tomorrow.
It is, and when we've been showing the ladder a lot because there's so many different permutations, and coming off the disappointing showing against the Perth Wildcats, they'll be looking to bounce back.
Here's Lee for 3. That won't go, but Froling will be able to corral the rebound. Had a pass to the basket, kicked it out to Blanchfield. That won't go. Froling's there again. Harvey can control this one. Time winding down. Needs to hit, needs it instantly. And time runs out for the Hawks. And the 36ers go 2-0 from their road double. They get to 9-14 on the season. They've won 4 of their past 5. They are 500 under Scott Ninnis, and there's some good things cooking in the city of Churches.
Well, it's a different look at both ends of the floor. They're putting points on the board. They look a lot more secure on the defensive end, and they're getting rewarded. They're playing with good spirits. And when you consider one of their prime movers, while he's not there across these 2 games, it just adds to the unit and the system that's being put in place to deal with some outs. And Trey Curl, he was outstanding with his 26 points, but Isaac Humphries down the stretch was massive. Kieran Galloway is another one. He had some games where he might have even had a few DMPs. And now he's getting an opportunity, and he's stepping up. 5 of 8 for his 13 points coming off that huge outing against the Phoenix a couple of nights ago.
There's a lot to like about what they're doing at the moment. That, unfortunately for the Hawks, is 3 losses in a row now, and maybe some injury questions too.
They had their wings clipped this round, didn't they, Joel? And the 36ers, they will really enjoy how things played out tonight and over the course of this round.
Absolutely. Let's go down to Brad Rosen, who's with our Foot Locker player of the game.
I do. I have Trey Curl, 26 points. What a win on the road. Tell me how you're feeling.
Feeling good. You know, like I mentioned before the game, I feel like we're playing some good basketball right now, and we're just trying to ride that momentum as long as we can.
They threw everything at you tonight, and I was listening to Scotty Ninnis. It's all about one shots and down with pace. That's the game plan. It seemed to work well.
Yeah, just, you know, I think that's the new, wave of basketball now, is just try to get a rebound and try to get a score before the defense is set up, because that's when it's easiest. So, it all starts with a stop, and, once we get that stop, just get out and run and try to find something easy.
I spoke to you about 2 hours ago and said 6 wins where you got one of those. Do we dare to believe the Adelaide 36ers climbing up the ladder and playoff bound?
No comment. We're playing good basketball right now.
Okay, let's talk about it now. So you'll go in here, you'll have a long chat. What do you talk about now? You go home. What's the next step for this team?
Just don't get satisfied. Like you said, we got a long push. We're not out of it yet. So just take it day by day. you know, get back, recover a little bit, have some good a week of practice, and get ready for the next one.
Yet another fantastic game by you. Well done.
Thank you.
The Adelaide 36ers, they've lifted themselves off the bottom of the NBL table with a 7-point win over the Illawarra Hawks, 96-89. Matty and Brad to break it all down on the other side of this.
Champion Pride round makes Adelaide fans feel really proud. Their team's won twice on the road. As you'll see shortly, they're off the bottom of the table. They've come to Wollongong and beaten the Illawarra Hawks 96-89. Trey Kell outstanding. Isaac Humphries put his team on his back as well. That was great from Scott Ninnis and his men.
Oh, look, I just saw Scotty out there. We had a little bit of a cuddle. He was so excited.